Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about Dr. Dray's routine, her skincare routine that I have now tried for 2 whole weeks. I basically got very overexcited when watching her routine because there were so many similarities between hers and mine, and I love Dr. Dray. If you don't know who Dr. Dray is, she is a dermatologist who has her own YouTube channel and she shares so many amazing tips and reviews. So now that I've been using her routine for 2 whole weeks, I thought I would share the products that she used, go through the whole routine. I will run you through what I think of each product, and also if you stay towards the end, I'm going to show you a before and after of how my skin looks before I started this and now. I have got so many notes, it's actually not even funny. So definitely go grab yourselves a nice drink, maybe a snack, and get comfy. So let's jump into it. Okay, so the very first thing that Dr. Dray does is she says that she has a shower in the evening. This is nothing new to me. I also like to shower in the evening before I go to bed. So this is where the skincare routine really starts. And she likes to double cleanse. So I was watching her video and she likes to double cleanse, first of all with an oil cleanser. And I'll be honest, an oil cleanser definitely terrifies me. Me and oils don't usually get on, and actually removing them from my skincare routine really helped my skin. So I have no idea why I thought this was a good idea, but Dr. Dray had me sold on this Neutrogena Light Sesame Formula Body Oil. I've seen other people use the oil cleansing method with so much success, so I kind of thought I would give this another try. Dr. Dray does a really good job of explaining how the oil cleansing method works. Essentially, like attracts like, apparently. So if you have oil kind of build up from the day, you've got your SPF on there, maybe even makeup, it does a really good job of breaking that all down. I also want to add, if you are going to start using a new skincare product, please track your skin in a journal, because it can be really hard to gauge whether a product's actually helping your skin, whether it's making things worse. But if you kind of have a bit more of an objective overview of how your skin's been doing that month whilst you're using a new product, you're going to be far more equipped to decide if you should continue using it. When I designed the Skin Story journal, the skincare tracker, like the product tracker, was one of the first things that I actually did. I find it so important to really think about my skincare routine, as it's always kind of the first thing you think about when you think about clearing acne. So I really wanted to make sure that was like spot on and that it was a tool that we could all use to really decide if a product's good or not. Okay, so back to the oil. I applied this. I really wasn't sure how much to use, I'll be honest. Dr. Dray didn't say like a particular amount, so I didn't use too much, but I massaged it all over my face before getting into the shower, really kind of concentrating on my eyes, breaking down mascara and things like that, and of course, yeah, my SPF. I should also add that she mentions in her video that the reason that she does this is because she believes anything else like wipes, micellar water, makeup remover can actually really kind of interfere with your skin's barrier. Like you can actually start to really kind of aggravate your skin if you're kind of pulling and tugging on it. I don't know if I fully believe this, because the micellar water I use, the Garnier one, I have never been kind of pulling or tugging at my skin, and I have really sensitive skin. But then again, I guess you will find with the oil cleansing method that you don't need to use anything like that, no cotton pads, nothing. So I guess you are kind of taking out that idea of kind of pulling or using anything on your skin. And I guess it's also much better for the environment. So I have to be honest, the body oil definitely looks quite intimidating to somebody who doesn't really get on with oil. I will say the great thing about this one is that it's fragrance free, but I really didn't enjoy the experience of actually using it. It just felt so gross. Like, oh, if you have ever had oily skin, like the concept of putting oil in your skin just feels, yeah, it just doesn't feel good. I didn't really know how long I was meant to be massaging it in for, but I sort of started to see like things break down. I was really, as I said, like applying it a lot to my eyes, like to try and get rid of mascara, but I actually found I was pulling on my eyelashes far more than I would have been with a cotton pad and micellar water. Usually with micellar water, I just put a little bit, as I said, on a cotton pad or a reusable cotton pad, like a face halo, and I just hold it to my eye for a little while. And after, I don't know, like 30 seconds, I move it away and the majority of it is gone. I might have to go over it maybe once, twice more, but for the most part, like it removes everything. Whereas with the oil, I did find that I was actually having to kind of go in circular motions, like really kind of get in there, which didn't feel great. So overall, I really wasn't impressed with this. I didn't enjoy using it, and I did start to feel like my skin was becoming more clogged. I found that I was breaking out more than I would usually, particularly around kind of my mouth and my problem areas. They just felt a little bit more inflamed, and anything that would have potentially just been like a small block pore really did feel like quite a painful spot. I've got one here actually as we speak. So I do attribute this to the oil cleansing, and I don't think I'll be using it again. I think I'll be sticking to using this on my body as it says. So the second step of the routine is to then double cleanse. So go in with the second cleanser. So essentially the water rinses off all the oil in the shower and you're left basically, hopefully, with a clean face. But really at this point you want to go in with something like a foaming cleanser, she suggests. And she was using the CeraVe foaming cleanser, which I actually really like. I am very impressed with this cleanser. It definitely reminds me of my favorite cleanser, which is the Bioderma Sensibio Gel Cleanser. I'm already a huge fan of CeraVe. I love most of their products. I've been using their moisturising cream day and night for at least sort of 6 to 12 months, I'd say at this point. So yeah, big fan of this brand. And this cleanser definitely doesn't disappoint. In the past, I have used the hydrating cleanser, which I liked, but I didn't love. I found it a little bit like, oh, I don't know, kind of tingled my skin, maybe because of the ceramides and I wasn't used to them, but also it just kind of almost left like a bit of a film on my skin. So yeah, it was great obviously for hydrating, but it wasn't my favorite cleanser. This I way preferred. It removed all the oil residue, which I was very grateful for because I wasn't enjoying that process of the cleansing, and you only really need a tiny bit. So yeah, I can imagine this is going to last quite a while. She also recommended actually a really gentle CeraVe body wash for your body, obviously, whilst you're in the shower. I personally didn't really see much point in purchasing yet another CeraVe cleanser, so I've just been using this one in the shower for my body as well for the last couple of weeks, and I really like it. I think it does a really great job, super gentle, particularly for like delicate areas, underarms, that kind of area, where you don't want to disrupt the pH balance. I find this is a really good option, and it saves kind of having to buy like a second cleanser just for your body. So I think she also mentions in her video that you shouldn't really be applying like soaps and fragrancy kind of gels to your arms and legs in particular, because it can really dry them out. So I really have only been using this. My favourite thing that she mentioned in her whole cleansing routine was that you don't need to be regularly exfoliating, and I completely stand by this because I've tracked in my journal when I exfoliate regularly and when I don't, my skin is so much worse when I'm regularly exfoliating, whether that be manually or with an acid. So she mentions that when you're doing kind of circular motions with the cleanser in the shower, that is all the exfoliation that you need for most people. So I really like that she doesn't do anything crazy in terms of like spin brushes and I don't know, like different kind of acids and things. She just focuses on using her hands to wash her face, and that's all the kind of exfoliation that she needs. So usually once I get out of the shower, like most people, I go and grab a towel. But Dr. Dre does not recommend this. She hasn't been using towels for a very long time, she tells us. So instead she used an old t-shirt to dry her hair, which I really liked. And I've tried this a couple of times. I'll be honest, I haven't tried it every time. Sometimes it's much easier to just grab a towel when it's there. But if I've prepared, then I have used an old t-shirt, and I really do like this method because it actually does help with the breakage of your hair. If you also have long kind of damaged hair like me, then this could be a really good option for you too. But yeah, I've been trying it a few times. I definitely will continue it. I think that's a really good option. But in terms of not using a towel to dry my body, that's kind of hard. I can understand where she lives in like Houston and they have amazing kind of warm weather all year round. In London, in the UK during winter, I just don't think that this is going to be an option for me. So then is the moisturising, which she really recommends to do on damp skin. I've been doing this for years as well, and I really recommend it. Essentially, you just want to lock in the moisture that's already on your skin with a moisturiser rather than trying to attract it from basically nowhere. So the first thing that she does is moisturise her body, and she really recommended the CeraVe moisturising cream, which I've been using on my face, like I said, for at least a year. Maybe even 2 years now. I actually have completely lost track, but I love this stuff. It's fragrance free, super gentle. I swear by it. But I have been using it on my body as well. I'm gonna be honest, I really rarely moisturise my body. I'm so forgetful and probably quite lazy. So this has been kind of a new part of my routine. Please hit the like button if you're also like me and get a bit lazy about moisturising your body. So then she moves on to moisturising her face, which is then what I've been doing. So my skin at this point is still damp. I've never really used a towel on my face for quite a long time actually. I do normally leave that to air dry. So the moisturiser that she's been using, and I went and got myself as well, is this Cetaphil Moisturising Night Cream for skin that is prone to redness. I was so excited to try this. I actually went on an absolute mission to find it because it wasn't available in any of the Boots near me. So I've just arrived in the car park. I'm about to go into Boots. Quite excited because there was only a few places that this Cetaphil moisturiser was stocked, and this is one of them, which is quite close by to me, so fingers crossed I'm going to go in and find it. I did find one not too far away that I had to go and drive to on my lunch break the other day, and yeah, it was in there, it was stocked, and I'm so excited because it's actually part of a new pro range. They do have I believe a day cream with some SPF 50 in there, and I believe there's some other products too, but this is the one I wanted to try because this is the one that Dr. Dre was using. So I really like this moisturiser. I mean, I got on with it really well. I think for anybody who is prone to redness like I am, who has sensitive pale skin, this could be a really good option for you. I think, you know, it's not necessarily my favourite moisturiser I've ever used. I feel like it is slightly more on the gel consistency rather than the cream consistency, which I personally don't prefer. But I think for a lot of people who are acne prone, this is a really good shout. So Cetaphil is a brand I'm really familiar with. I was using Cetaphil throughout my Roaccutane course and after. I think in fact the the cleanser, the daily cleanser, I can't remember what it's called, but that I was using for like 10 years and never had a problem with. Basically, until I discovered CeraVe and preferred it, I was using Cetaphil. I also think that this would be great if you are on Roaccutane, because that kind of flushing and that redness, I was really prone to it, where it really actually kind of feels like it burns. This would actually really help. It feels very soothing, really kind of calms down any irritation. In fact, even if you're using TRETINOIN like I am, and you get that sensitivity still, this could really work well for you. Like I said, I don't know if I prefer it to the CeraVe moisturising cream, but I'm certainly going to use this up. I do really like it and I got on with it well, didn't have any problems, and I liked how cooling it was on my skin. So good recommendation, Dr. Dre. I am happy with this one. So then I noticed that she was using the CeraVe Healing Ointment, which I have always wanted to try. She swears by it for her lips. In fact, I think she even mentions if you have lips, you need to buy this.
And I highly recommend it if you have lips.
And I have lips, so I wanted to buy it. I couldn't find this anywhere in the UK or on Amazon, so I did order it from the US. So I'll be honest, I've only been using this for probably about 3 or 4 days at this point, but I really love it. I know that this tube is going to last me forever, because honestly, you really only need a very tiny amount. I think if you're also in the UK like I am and you want to find something that's similar but more accessible, I would recommend the Aquaphor ointment, which I was using all the time when I was on Roaccutane. You can just get this from Boots and it's a lot easier, and the tube's smaller, so it kind of makes more sense, a little bit easier to carry around. But the CeraVe ointment is amazing. I absolutely love it. I've been applying it everywhere, like on my cuticles I've been applying it, my elbows, sometimes even around my eyes when they get a bit sore, I've been putting it there. So yeah, I really love this stuff, and like I said, the tube is going to last me forever. So next up in her routine is the star of the show, and it's the star of my routine as well, and that is TRETINOIN. So I'm sure most of you know by now, I have been using TRETINOIN for over 2 years, and it is an ingredient that has done my skin the world of good. If you're not too sure about what TRETINOIN is, then I have made an entire playlist talking about my experience with TRETINOIN as a product that I apply on my face for my acne prone skin, as well as being a really great ingredient for preventing signs of premature aging. It is the only ingredient proven, along with SPF actually, to actually help with signs of aging. So I really wouldn't buy into anything else other than tretinoin or a retinoid. They really do work, and like I said, I swear by it. So I have always used Dr. Dre's routine of applying tretinoin. I watched one of her videos a long time ago and followed that method. So this was nothing new to my routine, but I thought I would talk you through it anyway. So she actually applies tretinoin over the top of moisturiser. Now on most of the packaging, as she said in her video, it will tell you to apply it to a dry face, like a clean, dry face. And this can work for some, but for lots of people, this can make your skin really sensitive and maybe take away some of the benefits that you would have seen from using tretinoin, because you're so kind of irritated and red and dry. So instead, she applies moisturiser, lets that sink in until her skin is dry again, and then goes in with the tretinoin, which is exactly what I've been doing and is exactly what I continue to do throughout this last 2 weeks. I have actually been sent a new tretinoin by Dermatica. In fact, let me show it to you. Dermatica is a service that basically personalised your kind of active ingredients to your skin. So I was contacted by them. This video is not sponsored by them, but I thought it's worth mentioning that they have sent me this, and it is a 1% tretinoin, sorry, 0.1% tretinoin that I've been using for, yeah, probably about a week and a half now. My previous 0.1% tretinoin actually expired. It was only usable for a month in that tube, so this came at the perfect time. If you'd like me to do a full review of the Dermatica tretinoin once this is finished, then just leave me a comment and let me know, because I'll be more than happy to film that for you guys. So the next step in the routine, as Dr. Dre says, is sleep. It is a super important part of your skincare routine. It is a chance for your body to rest and recover and repair, so definitely don't skip out on it. So then moving on to the morning routine, and again, Dr. Dre already does something that I've been doing for a really long time, which is not cleansing in the morning. And I know lots of you might be thinking that that's really gross, and I get questions about, do you not wash the products off from the night before? And in short, no, I have no problem with leaving it on my skin. I don't believe that I'm particularly like sweating or doing anything whilst I'm asleep. So yeah, I have no problem with waking up and starting my day without cleansing. So it was really great to hear that Dr. Dre also does the same and it's working for her. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend trying this, not if you are super oily, but if you're like me and have kind of sensitive skin, I would really recommend trying this out. I first started doing this when I was on Roaccutane, and I just couldn't bear the thought of cleansing my face in the morning. It just felt too sore and painful, and I guess now that I'm using tretinoin as well, it just makes more sense for me to do it this way. So yeah, try it out, maybe track it in a journal, see how you get on with it. So usually I would start my day with a moisturiser, but Dr. Dre actually just goes straight in with SPF without moisturising first. So of course, that is also what I've been doing. Now, if you watch Dr. Dre's channel a lot, you will know that she has so many recommendations for SPF. She is like SPF Queen. So in her skincare routine video, she is using Image sunscreen, and I had a little look online and it was really hard for me to get hold of her in the UK. I couldn't find it on Amazon, so I decided to use a different SPF that she actually recommended in a different skincare video, and that is a brand ALTRUIST, which I purchased off her recommendation. I have both the SPF 50 and the SPF 30. In fact, I have done a full review of the ALTRUIST line if you're interested in this, so I will link it in the description box. But this sunscreen is amazing, mostly because it's fragrance free and really doesn't irritate sensitive skin. So I've been applying the SPF 50 to my face. I've been taking in all of her advice about actually watching how you apply it, so not missing areas that are really crucial like the sides of your face, your ears, and really being diligent about how much you apply. So that is certainly something I've been doing, and I really do like the SPF 50. I was using it all last year. My favorite, as I'm sure you all know by now because I bang on about it all the time, is the Paula's Choice Tinted SPF 30. But yeah, for the last couple of weeks I've been trying this and I know I like it, so I am happy to use it. We've had very little sun here in the UK, so I've hardly been applying this to my body, to be honest. But on the occasion, I think there may be once where I've been applying it to my arms when I've gone out. I like it because it's not really sticky, doesn't transfer onto your clothes. So yeah, I am a big fan of this, but I haven't really needed to wear it very much. Something that I've really not been very diligent about before until watching her routine was actually applying an SPF to my lips. Dr. Dre had a really good recommendation for the Vanny Cream, is it called Vanny Cream? I believe it is, SPF like lip balm, but I again couldn't find that, or if I could it was super expensive, so I decided to go into Boots and see if I could find one for myself. And I found this little Blistex one, which is SPF 50, and I really like it. I find that when I've actually bought lip balms with SPF in the past, they've either been really drying or they've left like a really kind of like white tint to my lips, and I haven't enjoyed wearing them, so I just stopped. But this stuff is super hydrating. It's clear, so it doesn't leave like a white mark on my lips. And it smells like cupcakes, so I keep wanting to apply it, which is great. So yeah, I've been far more diligent about applying this, and I think that's a really great little tip that I learned from her routine that I'll certainly be continuing. So here's how my skin was looking at the start of this experiment. It was really calm and hydrated. I wasn't experiencing many breakouts, but this was in the lead up to my period where my skin isn't usually as acne prone. So 2 weeks later, my skin is definitely breaking out a lot more. It does feel super hydrated and very calm in the areas where it's not breaking out, but I do feel like I'm slightly more congested. I'm definitely contributing this to the oil cleansing method, something that I definitely will not be continuing. Did not get on with that at all. But I'm so happy that I've been introduced to the CeraVe ointment, the healing ointment. I think that's such a great product. I'm also a massive fan of this Cetaphil Redness moisturising cream, and I'll also be continuing to use the CeraVe foaming cleanser because I think that's also a really great shout. But yeah, this stuff is a big no from me. So if you are also thinking about introducing some new things into your skincare routine and you want to see a few other options, I actually made a whole video talking about my TRETINOIN evening skincare routine, which I would highly recommend going to check out, especially if you're thinking about starting TRETINOIN or you're currently using it. I'll put that box up on screen now, so definitely go and click that, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks guys.